Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Cookin It With Ayydé. Today is a very exciting day because I'm going to be making, well, let's just call it what it is. Son enchiladas flojas. Those are lazy enchiladas because if my tia Lupe is watching this, she'd be so mad at me. And I'm teaching my girls to know the product, how to make this. And this is her first time cooking or doing something like this. So I'm super excited for it. What up, Snow? How are you?
How you doing? I'm washing my hands thoroughly because, like you said, my mom would be, first of all, mad at me for having my hair down, but I'm sorry, I'm in Snow the product mode right now. And yeah, all right, I'm ready. I think I'm
It's
ready.
okay.
Can I get some wine?
Do you need some what? Some wine?
I'll get some wine. I feel very nervous.
Do you need wine? Take a shot. What do you want to do? You tell me.
Babe, let me see. What do we have around here? Hold on.
Is Juju around to assist you? Because I know that you're not the cook.
No, you know what? That's the problem. That's why I'm so nervous, is because she's not around to assist me. She's around to make fun of me behind the scenes. So yeah, I've had assistants right now that were helping me out with everything, but everybody ran away right now. So I'm like, I need a glass of wine.
Everybody's like, oh, we're going to leave you alone and
We're gonna let you burn the house down. Babe, is there wine? Can I have a glass of wine, please?
wine her, please.
She said she has our bedroom wine.
Oh,
You stop.
okay.
Yeah, sorry.
That will work. That will work.
We're taking out the bedroom wine for the lazy enchiladas.
It's still what it is. Listen, this I call it the lazy enchiladas. And like I said before, if my tia Lupe is watching this, she's gonna be so mad at me because she likes to make everything from scratch. And that's how I learned how to make enchiladas at the very beginning, right? But then I was like, damn, this takes a really, really long time. One day I went to go visit my tia Amada, and I was like, these enchiladas are so good. And I saw this next to the stove. Yes. So I asked my tia, I was like, tia, ¿cómo las hizo? And she's like, con salsa de pato. I was shook. I was like, what? This whole time I've been making them this way, like super hard. It's not hard. It's just very time consuming. So this is the easy way. You have your salsa. We have our chicken. We have our tortillas. We have jalapeños, crema. We have queso fresco, cebollas, tomates, y unas papas, and some carrots. So this
By the way, I feel like I should show you how well. So my cousin Zuli has been assisting me with all this stuff. I want to give credit where it's preserved. Look at how she did this.
Wow.
I'm like, dude, what? Martha Stewart, who? What? We in this. Oh, and Juju just gave me some wine. So I'm gonna get drunk because I do that when I'm nervous. So here we go.
You're gonna do just fine. I'm pretty sure you got this, and I promise you that this is gonna be the easiest thing that you've ever done. And you're gonna be like, okay, you're gonna tell Juju, what's up? Like, I'm the cook now. I'm positive that after this, you're gonna be feeling really good. I did this with Fat Joe, and Fat Joe had never, ever done anything like this in his entire career. He said the same thing. He's like, yo, I don't cook. I'm like, you're gonna. He showed up with his like chef like mat and his hat, everything ready. He was feeling himself making empanadas like nothing from scratch. So you got this. You ready for the first?
I feel like I should definitely be wearing a chef's hat. How do you do this all the time, Ayydé? Like, I asked my girl this, and I know you personally. You like to cook. Why do y'all like to cook? Like,
you know, I like to cook because I think that the biggest reward for me is to see the faces on my loved ones, like when they're eating them, seeing the people that I love enjoy the food that I make is very rewarding to me. And something that I always say that I fully believe in is that you have to cook with love and you have to be in a good mood. Porque si estás de mal humor o estás enojada or whatever it is, todo eso se te pasa la comida. So for me, it's a moment of, sharing. Like, you really don't, I personally don't, at least, I don't break bread with just anyone. Like, eating or
lesson I'm trying to learn, by the way.
What?
I said that me not breaking bread with just anyone is a new lesson I'm trying to learn.
I got you. Listen, that's something that I've had in my head for a long time. It takes a little road to get there, to figure out those lessons and to see who you're really going to be able to sit at this table with and who not, But we have big hearts, so we want to share it with everybody. And thank you in advance for being in here with me. You ready for the first step?
I'm ready. I turned on the stove, right? Earlier, I burned the shit out of my hand, by the way, on Instagram. Okay, I turned on the stove.
You did?
By the way, thank you for sending me this. Am I gonna return this to you, or is this for me to go
No,
camping?
that is for you. So from now on, you're gonna be cooking on that.
I'm gonna take this to the bedroom with the bedroom wine.
Oh Lord, with the bedroom wine and the
All
bedroom
right, let's do
stove.
it. Yeah. But all right, what's up? What am I
You
doing?
can do a little shabu shabu in bed. Hey, I'm all for it. You got your tortillas. You got your tortillas.
I got my tortillas right here.
Mira, bien fresquecitas. Okay,
So
so
no, prácticamente. No, I'm just joking.
okay, let's put if ya tienes tu sartén ahí, let's put the oil on there if you feel it's hot.
Sartén lit, or wait, which one? Oh, the
This
oil.
one, no, this one, your pot. This one.
Oh, my pot. Here, this one.
Yeah,
Right
yeah.
there. Sartén. Bet.
Ponle, I don't know, that's what I call them. I call them sartenes. Ponle tu aceite ahí adentro so it can start to warm up. That's the first step. Sorry.
Okay. A ver, aceite. Babe, have you ever made enchiladas?
That's enough. That's good.
That's good. That's good.
That's good.
So she's about to learn how to make lazy enchiladas with me. She's behind the scenes filming.
Come on, Juju. I have faith in you too. And Juju's been learning Spanish.
I know. Now that Juju's rapping, you might have to interview her, and she might have to make a pernil with you or something.
What? I would love to interview Juju. She's hilarious. Español. Todo en español, tell her.
Español, yeah. She's only doing Spanish interviews, by the way, forever. Like that's
Only Spanish. Okay, so tienes tu salsa de pato, right?
right there.
Okay, so we're gonna wait for, make sure that your skillet is really hot. Do you see the bubbles on the oil yet or not?
No. Oops, it's on 4. Should it be on like 7?
No, it's on what time? On what time?
It's on 4. Should it be on like max? Like
put it about like a little over halfway. So
like 6.
I don't know, like 7, 8, I think would be good.
Well, it only goes up to 7, so like 5.
Let's do that. That works.
Sorry. I need you to be exact with me because I'm gonna burn this shit.
Put it at 5. Put it at 5. You should be able to see if the oil is hot. If you don't think it's hot enough, you can turn that up one more to 6.
Bet it's not doing anything yet.
It's not doing anything.
Have you ever heard the saying "Watched water never boils"?
Wait, what?
Watched water never boils is like a saying. So it's like if you keep paying attention to something, like it'll never happen. Like you need to just kind of like let it. So I feel like I'm watching oil, not boil.
Oil, not boil. Good. Well, look, as long as you don't put water in the oil, then we're gonna be good. Because when I cooked with Fora, he tried to put water in the oil, and I was like, bro, that's not what we're doing here.
No, I mean I don't cook. I have a kid, so I've cooked. This is a lot of nervios with cameras and everything. Like you know what I mean. I'm definitely not the best at it, but this looks crazy.
So this is gonna be.
I get it. I've eaten my fair share of enchiladas. I'm to know the product, the whole enchilada. Like I get it.
Exactly. This is why we're doing this. Okay, so one tortilla. You don't need that whole stack of tortillas right there. You can only just get one of them.
I don't need
one tortilla.
Just one. Bet.
Yes. Okay, and you're gonna dip it in the salsa de pato so it's covered.
Dip it in the salsa de pato so it's covered. Bet.
This is gonna get a little bit messy.
Okay, messy. I like messy.
Okay. Y de allí, put it in your skillet. You ready?
Too messy, too quick. What?
Okay, now put it in the skillet. Drop it in there.
Oh. Mine didn't sound as good as yours, so I'm gonna turn the heat up because yours sounded like satisfying.
Can you hear it?
It's good. It's good. It's cooking. It's bubbling.
It's bubbling? Okay. Mine is spraying all over the place. I'm getting aceite on my laptop, but it's all good. It's all worth it. It's worth it. So it should be, sizzling. And we're going to let that stay in there for a little bit, but just so it can get a little bit crispy because I like mine crispy.
Yeah, facts.
What does it look like? Do you have your spatula what do you have, tongs?
By the way, I'm really appreciating. Fuck you! Sorry. I'm really appreciating that Zooey set this stuff up here because spatula. I wouldn't have thought to grab these tongs.
You know what? Zuli gotta give her major love. She's been a complete sweetheart and super, super on top of everything. It's like a quick response on top of everything. So thank you so much to Zuli. I think flip that tortilla already to the other side.
Okay. Oh shit. Ya valió madre. It fucking ripped.
¿Se quebró? Es que son tortillas Guerrero, huh?
No, there's something else. There's fucking, I don't know what the hell they are. Hold on. Wait, can you give me a spatula? She's just laughing at me. Juju's just laughing at me. This isn't funny when I have a heckler behind the camera. Sorry. She's
You're
cracking
fine.
up.
She's just laughing. She likes to see you suffer, apparently.
Yeah.
I think what
I
it
want
is.
you want to know how petty my girl is? Right before we cooked this, she made me like a whole, what did you make? Like shrimp with like some asparagus thing, like dip, cheddar, or cheese thing. I'm like, that's fucked up that you know I'm making something, trying my best, and you're just shitting on my cooking. Give me that.
I think what she's doing, though, I think that she's just trying to put you down because she's threatened that you're going to be stuck up in the kitchen from now on. She doesn't want to be replaced as a chef in the house.
She wants to remind me who she is. And that's fine. I get that. That's totally fine. But there's a new chef in the kitchen, and it looks good. It's looking good. She said it smells burnt.
It smells burnt. Okay, well,
It smells good.
if you already have it on the other side, take it out. If you already done both sides, and it should look something like this.
I don't have a plate. Can you give me a plate? My chef's assistant. No, you're not.
Are you on the Wi-Fi?
Is it the Wi-Fi?
The Wi-Fi is
Did you what?
you on that metro?
My brother brought the Ethernet, but he wanted to know if it'll mess up if he connects it right now.
It shouldn't.
Okay.
I mean, whatever it is he has, it's gonna make it better than what it is right now. I hope.
Okay, there. Okay, there.
You have one? Okay, now do another one just the same way.
All right, bet. Freestyle. We freestyling this. What up?
Did you just throw it in the salsa?
Yeah. Throw it in the salsa. Yo, I'm gonna make a song like that. Let's make a song called Throw It in the Salsa.
Go for it. I'm gonna be waiting to hear it.
Jay's gonna be the video vixen for the video.
You know what? I think I owe you to be in a music video. I think I've missed out on 2, maybe even 3. So soy una sinvergüenza.
Huh?
Oh, but I got it.
Okay. Yeah.
It just might disconnect.
Better.
No, I don't think so. My brother said if he connects the Ethernet, it might disconnect for a second. Is that bad?
It should be fine. Tell them just to connect it.
Connected, right?
Connect it.
You good? Are you watching your tortilla you have over there? Se te va a quemar.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Oh.
Oh.
No, it's not really that on. Yo, our house is dramatic, bro. Like,
You literally brought the heat to the kitchen and to the house.
yo, our house is being dramatic. This is a little ridiculous. Hey, estas tortillas are trash. Oh.
What did you see? Se te quebró or what?
Can we turn off the alarm? Ah, this is so bad. This is the worst.
You're fine. You're fine.
Trash. This is so bad. All right, this one is garbage. You made my house almost light on fire. You're a failure of a fucking tortilla. You know what? Can we do the opposite of sponsorships? Can we like talk shit about this brand of tortillas?
What brand of tortilla is that? Is it Mission or Guerrero? Which one of them?
Whatever this shit is.
La Bandera.
Lavanderia. It's fucking lavanderia tortillas. Who got me this?
Zuli did. Listen, I specifically told Zuli, do not get Guerrero, do not get Mission. Get the ones, because I went to Vallarta, so I like to get the ones from like the actual market. You know how they have their brand from their tortilleria? Those, these are, they're thick. They're reliable tortillas.
Yeah, these tortillas are like the whore bags of the tortillas. They're not good. This is not good. The taste of Mexico, you got me fucked up. You are not the taste of Mexico.
Who allowed you to put that on that bag?
Can we talk about something? Can we talk about the fact that right now everybody wants to be the voice of Mexicans, right? This is what you end up with when you fucking, just because you make a cut out of it, you start promoting the wrong people. this. You end up with the taste of Mexico, and then this representation. This is what you end up with, ladies and gentlemen. This is the taste of fucking Mexico. Vete mucho chingar a tu puta madre. All right, we're not doing this. We got one enchilada. This is me. It's no product.
Okay, so now with that one enchilada you have, put your pollo, get your chicken, and you're gonna fill in the enchilada. So just put it in there like that.
All right. Ahí está.
A ver. Okay, so you want to fold that enchilada.
Are we gonna make it like when you make ¿cómo se llama? Like when you make tamales for your family, or is it like when you buy tamales and they have no fucking meat in them?
Oh no, this is like when you're making this for your family. I have a lot of chicken in here.
Okay. Have you ever bought tamales and you're like, was this a blood?
All the time. Are you kidding me? That's why I'm like really picky, and I only like my tia Lupe's tamales because they're perfect. They're juicy. They have the right amount of sauce to chicken to masa, and the masa is not dry. I hate dry tamales, and on top of that, they'd be like this thick with like this little chicken and no sauce to be found with the tamales. That's just
every time I come out of the store and somebody's selling tamales outside, like, you know, I like to help the raza. I'm like, okay, bet, I'll buy them. But I'm like, come on, dude. Like, no mames, it's pura pinche masa. I'm sitting there, I can't even fucking swallow it. Not being able to swallow is a... All right.
So you're going to fold it over like this on its side.
All right. All right. And then what?
Okay. And then I like to do it this way. If you like crema, you don't have to use any of these ingredients. If you don't like them, you don't have to use them. But I like crema. So you get your crema mexicana and you put it...
What about potatoes?
Those are going to go on the side. I'm going to show you.
Oh, okay. Crema.
You're going to get your crema. I like to spread it over the top.
Can I drizzle it? Because it looks thin as hell.
Yeah, you could drizzle it. Just don't put too much. Boom. That's enough. And then get your queso fresco.
Queso fresco right here. Lit.
Queso fresco, boom. And you put that on top of the crema.
Now like that.
Go. Ooh. Queso bay. And then you get the lechuga, the lettuce. Grab the lettuce. And you're going to drizzle that on top too.
Are you live? Don't tell me you're live.
I am live.
No, her.
Oh.
He's embarrassing me at a different angle. All right, and then what?
Juju. Okay, and then grab your tomates, and you're going to try to do this as pretty as you can because presentation is everything. So you're going to put your tomates across, just kind of like 3 of them, maybe 4 of them.
Wait, what did you just say? You said what? You said
put them across?
You said presentation.
Let me see your presentation.
So what were you doing this whole time? So presentation is everything. So what about the fucking fact I just cooked all this?
Flavor and love. Flavor and love. We're gonna switch it to flavor and love.
Exactly.
Okay, you have your cebollitas. Put your tomatoes, your lettuce, your cebollas on top of there.
Are you gonna edit this? I should do a close-up of what my jitomates look like rolling off the fucking enchilada. It's embarrassing. It's truly embarrassing. What?
You're fine.
Okay. And then what?
Okay, so did you put your cebollas on top of there too? Cebollas and the little things. Yep. So now, those are they've been soaked in limon overnight and a little bit of salt because that's how I like my cebollas. They taste delicious like that. And then your aguacate, that'd be the last thing that you're gonna just pop on top of there too.
Okay, 1 popped aguacate.
Your aguacate.
Bam. Y luego.
Y si tienes un jalapeño, lo pones al lado, si te gustan. Y ahí las papitas, you put those to the side, the potatoes and the carrots.
Okay, bet. How much?
Well,
how much for the tambachi?
However much you want. That's enough.
All right. Yo, I'm about to make a family dinner for everybody.
I really think you should, and everybody has to try it. And when you're finished, they should look something like this.
Okay, this looks more like I'm on a diet, solo meal, but should I film it? Should I show you?
I think you should show everybody what it looks like.
Wait, where's it at? Bam.
It's not bad.
It's not bad, right? It's like
not bad.
Right?
Boom, you did an enchilada, and now you have to try your own enchilada. I hate eating on camera, but we're gonna do this because I'm hungry.
Okay.
You ready?
Okay. Try my own enchilada, right?
Try your own enchilada.
This is like how bartenders have to try their drinks and shit.
You have to, or you won't learn. All right. Maybe I should try to take some big ass chunks of this enchilada here. How is it?
That is good.
Are you proud?
Yeah. Well, I'm proud of you. Thank you for this.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have done it by myself.
Boom. Now
this
you can.
Good job, Ayydé. How'd you learn?
I told you. Okay, so let me finish chewing this little piece, and then I'll tell you how I learned. So as you know, my mom passed away when I was 13, right?
Yeah.
But being the Mexican that she was, there was no option not to be in the kitchen with my mother. Like, she would drag me in there early on, like, métete a deshebrar el pollo, o limpiarme los frijoles, or XYZ, con el arroz, whatever. A despechugar esto, whatever it was, I had to do it. And then I like to play cocinita. I would play cocinita all the time, like pretend being in the kitchen. And it didn't like really, I wouldn't say really didn't stick until I was about 18. I was craving my mom's enchiladas. And this is when I thought I was grown. I was an adult already. So I hit up my tia Lupe because she has the most similar taste to her food to my mom's. So I called my tia Lupe. I was like, tia, ¿cómo se hacen las enchiladas? And this was before FaceTime or anything like that. So she was telling me word by word, like how to do these, but from scratch. And on my first try, they were so delicious that I was like, yo, like I got this. I know how to cook. So this was one of my first big plates that I learned how to make. And then, like I told you, after making them for so long, like my tia Lupe showed me, I went to my tia Amadas and she was making them with salsa del pato. So I was like, this is the easiest thing to do. So now I like to be lazy and I like to make them with salsa del pato because they taste just as delicious. Are you enjoying it?
I'm a fucking chef. You just changed my life because now I can tell people like, oh yeah, I be cooking. Yeah, me. You don't even know. You haven't even tried my enchiladas from Tia Amada and Tia Lupe that were fucking telling Ayydé, and then Ayydé called me. There's a whole story now. What do you mean?
No, I really love it, and we've been trying to make this happen for such a long time. So yeah. I'm happy and I feel proud that you were able to make this. I knew you would. It's the easiest thing, and I can't wait to see you making it for everybody in the house, including Juju. But I wanted to talk a little bit about life, Snow, and just catch up with you. A while back, I don't know if it was in the summer or something, I saved this video that you posted of you and your dad, and it was the cutest thing. Like, first of all, I don't know why I'm obsessed with you when you're little, because if you call me, it's a picture that you posted when you were a child, and I saved that as your thing. And so when you showed this video, you're with your dad, and I believe you're singing Allá en la puente había un chorrito que se hacía grandote, se hacía chiquito. And my Mexican heart smiled so much for so many reasons, because that was one of like my favorite songs growing up. I don't know if it was Cri Cri or something that I used to and I learned all of those songs. And so just seeing you as a baby singing it with so much heart, so much passion, it was like, that is the same Claudia that we have now. And it is the most adorable thing. And also what I appreciated was that you showed a piece that I feel like I hadn't seen before, which was your father. I know that we get to see a lot of your mom, which I absolutely adore, and I think that she needs her own show because she's hilarious. But now you gave us a glimpse into who your father is and where that superstardom comes from, you know, and why was that something so special for you or important to share on?
Oh, I started drinking wine at the wrong time. I didn't know that's where you were going. Oh my God, you're gonna make me cry. So you're gonna make me cook for the first time and you're gonna make me cry. Great.
Se va a demorar.
Let me get myself together. Shit. I fucking hate you. I was a daddy's girl. Like that's how I grew up, you know, like that's yeah. Unfortunately, um life decisions of his fucked his life up, and I've had to live with the repercussions. But so I don't share my dad very much. But I that's a part of my life that I think won't be shared until. One thing about me that I don't think I've ever really explained to people is that I don't really share things until I've like, I guess, gotten over it. You know what I mean? So for a very long time, like I didn't share a lot of my personal life, and people go like, why do you share your life now? You know, why are you so open with Juju, but you weren't open with a lot of your life before? And it's like because I've like got my footing, you know, I like grounded myself. Like I understand now a lot of things. I think I dealt with a lot of traumas growing up that for a long time, you know, affection was a problem for me, or like intimacy, you know what I mean? All these things were like an issue for me. So now as an adult that has gone to counseling and has figured shit out, I can share a lot more of myself. I think the situation with my dad, unfortunately, has been something that I kind of put away for so long. But when you finally see how I grew up and like that I was a daddy girl, that my dad was everything, like he really did raise me to be the human being, the woman, the grown person that I am now, I think it'll show some parts of Snow the product that I think are a lot more, I don't know, like what you said, you know, like it was innocent, it was cute, it was like that's a part I think a lot of times I've worried about coming across as like, yo, I'm tough, I got this, I'm a strong woman, and it's really to protect how sensitive I really am and how much of a little bitch I am, I guess. So yeah, when I share those videos of me, like it was crazy that you shared it because I just got mad emotional, but you could see how awkward I get, you know what I mean? So
I think that it's an important process. Like you said, one, you mentioned that you don't share things until you pretty much process them or until you're ready. And I think that that's valid and it's fair. And it's something that's really important that needs to happen. And being Latinas, I don't think that we grow up, you know, talking about things like this. Like pasan las cosas and we're taught to just keep our heads up y seguir adelante, right? We don't know how to stop and process what that is and give space to that moment for whatever it was, you know. My father was killed when I was 8, and while he was alive, I knew that was my father, right? He was my king. He was somebody I respected and I loved. Y un michoacano, pero michoacano. So
we share that in common.
Exactly. So de carácter muy fuerte and all kinds of things. And I love my father. I mourned him when he passed away, and I missed him. But it was after my mom passed away that I learned that he was violent with my mother. And I didn't know that when he was alive. Or when my mom was alive, because she never talked bad about him. And it was something that caused a lot of anger inside of me. Like it was a point where I was like, oh, I'm happy he died. Like he deserved what he wanted. It hurts me to even say that right now, but I really felt that. I felt that for a very, very long time. And it wasn't until I started going to therapy and I had to sit down with myself and I was like, listen, at the end of the day, if I could at least have one of my parents alive, I would hope that I could, you know, and I would want my dad in my life. Like I really would. And I sat down and I started thinking like, oh, wow, like I get this from my dad and I get this from my mom. And I really am a marriage of both of them, you know, even if it didn't work out between them, like I am that fabric. And I felt the same for you, you know, I felt the same for you. And it came to a moment of like, I had to forgive him for me, because I needed that peace. I needed to be okay and accept at the end of the day, that's still my father. That's still the man that I loved, you know, and that taught me so many things. So speaking of your dad, something that comes from your dad is singing mariachi. And in that post, I think that you also wrote something about that he would write his own songs. Do you remember that first mariachi song or that first Spanish song that ever caught your eye? Was it your dad's song or was it somebody else?
My dad wrote me a song called La Mexicana or La Mexicanita. I forgot exactly which one it was, but he wrote me songs, you know, and it was like or La Mera Mera. Like he always wrote me very empowering songs, and it was like with mariachi and stuff. I'm sure I have some videos around of me singing them like since I was like 6. So I was known for my dad telling me to sing at the party and everybody, you know, all eyes on me and I'm singing or whatever. And to be honest, I walked away from that. Like that was my dad's dream. You know what I mean? So like when I became a teenager, I was like, that's your dream. Like, I don't want that. Like, you know, whatever. So it's really hilarious that I'm an artist. You know what I mean? Because it's like, I really remember purposely walking away from that dream and being like, that's what you want. That's not what I want. I'm leaving. And then in a very roundabout way, I fucking ended up doing the same thing, which was rap. And I didn't want to sing, you know, in Spanish. And then at some point, yeah, I think the wanting to reconnect with my dad's side of the family and with that whole life, you know what I mean? I kind of see my life as different chapters, and it's like with that chapter of my life, I end up getting drunk and singing mariachi on stage. You know what I mean? And then I'm like, Jesus Christ, like why does it feel so good to sing mariachi on stage? And it's like it just feels good to sing mariachi, like it does. Like it's like my soul. You know what I mean? So it's like it's weird because I could sing a hip hop song or an English song or whatever, but it's like when I get up there and I'm like just belt out a song, it's like holy shit, you know what I mean? It's like a different feeling. And I've been trying to process what those feelings are, which is why last year I literally went back to Michoacan after like not seeing my dad for like 14 years, you know, and like putting that all behind me. And it was like a necessity for me to like for who I am as a complete person, you know what I mean? To be like holy shit, like you're right, you know. Unfortunately, a lot of people do lose their parents, and my parents are still alive. And even though that comes with its own set of traumas and things that I have to deal with, because you know sometimes when your parent passes away, you remember them in the best light. When your parents are still alive and they're continuously making bad decisions, you're sitting there like, holy shit, you know what I mean? And I said that in a song a long time ago called "I'm Gonna Make It." I was like, we couldn't even mourn him. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't even do that. I had to just deal with whatever my life was with both my parents. And but what I can say now, especially after going back, is that I'm very grateful that I do get to have those conversations. Accountability is a motherfucker with macho men and Mexican men and our culture and the women in our culture, and a lot of forgiving men for what they do or how they affect their family happens to the point where sometimes it feels like they're dismissing your feelings about it. And I haven't been very vocal about this part of my life, but I think at some point I will be when I process it, is that I do think there needs to be more accountability in our culture. I do think that we forgive a lot of shit that's like not right. You know what I mean? And until people step up to the plate and really admit, you know, yo, this is what I did, that's fucked up. With that whole like, pues está bien, no te preocupes, ya pasó. It's like, what? How am I left with those emotions? You know what I mean? As a kid or whatever. So I don't know, man. Thank you, Ayydé, for the fucking therapy session.
You're welcome anytime.
Now.
No, listen, it's really beautiful though that because I thought about it because I know that this isn't a part that you show very often, and that's what I want to showcase you. I want to give you your flowers. I know that you say don't give me flowers, give me champagne, but the truth of the matter is that you are a living legend from one Mexican American to another. Like I see your light, I've always seen it, and I really appreciate it, and I want to tell your story. I want people to know that you come from nothing and you did struggle to get to where you're at, and it has been a really long road. And I want to open up to what's gotten you, what made Snow the product, and the makings of you are your parents and your culture that you share so proudly. That's very important, and that's why I love you so much, is because I haven't seen that in a really long time. You know, like for me it was Selena, but in the hip hop space, which I grew up loving and being a part of, like I hadn't seen that, not with the female, and not with the female that can flow and switch it up from English to Spanish and still really be saying something. So it's so important. And when you do get up on that stage and you do sing mariachi and you are taking down the shots, all of that, like it makes me super happy, and it makes me very proud to see that. Then again, it all comes back down to where your roots are, and that you've always been proud of it, and in one way or now in another, whether you've dealt with it or not, like you've shown it like this is what I'm made of, and I'm proud of where I come from. I'm proud of my parents being immigrants and coming to this land, because it's made me who I am. Like that hunger, like it really is. It's like we were fortunate enough to be born here, right? But we're also fortunate enough to have had immigrant parents that taught us how it is to like really crave something, really want something. We know what that is. We know what that is to strive for, because we saw it in our parents, we saw it in our family members, and there aren't any excuses. There aren't any excuses when it comes to that. Like there's been so many times where I get off of the freeway and there's somebody that's not Mexican or Latino on the left side of me asking for money, and the right side there's a Latino or Latina selling the flowers, selling the fruta, and I would much rather be the person on the right than the person on the left, because that's how we were taught. No matter what, no matter who has what to say about it, like I don't care if I'm making $3 out of selling you these $10 flowers. Like I'm not gonna beg for your money. I'm gonna earn my money. So it's like when people talk about like, oh, they're coming here to steal our jobs and they're lazy at the same time. I'm like, how?
Yeah. It's unfortunate that we have to deal with that stereotype, and especially in this. And you're right. It's taken me a very long time. And I've said this before, like, even like, I think I did a Suavemente remix a long time ago, and I was like, it don't gotta be me, but someone has got to shine, like out of our culture, because, and that was what, 7 to 10 years ago that I dropped that. It's been a decade of consistently trying to build a lane that wasn't fucking there. And I think a lot of people get that mistaken. Right now, it's a little bit more popular to be a Mexican rapper, and that's fine, and that's great, and that was the goal. You feel me? Like, if anything, that's what lets me be able to relax. I get to chill in my ranch, make songs, drop it with my girlfriend, with my friends, with my family, do whatever the fuck I want, because for so long I felt like I needed to prove a point, and now I don't. You know what I mean? Now it's like bet, like we here. You know what I mean? And that was what the point was. But what I also don't want is people being disrespectful of the fact that motherfuckers have been doing that work. Like, don't take an interview and be like, nobody's repping, when it's like, bitch, don't act like motherfuckers ain't been in this shit doing it back when it wasn't popular. You know what I mean? Like back when the label, like I've sacrificed label deals or brand deals or whatever the fuck for the sake of saying the right thing. And that's where it gets a little frustrating for someone like me, where it's like the heavy lifting was done a while ago. You feel me? Like motherfuckers coming now, it's like, bet, that's lit, do your thing, take it to places I ain't never took it. But don't act like the heavy lifting hasn't been being done for a while, and not just by me. Obviously, it's been waves of Latinos and Mexicans and Chicanos and everybody that's been doing this. And now obviously with people like Bad Bunny and J Balvin being such global artists, it opens the door. But as Mexican American artists, we also have another door we have to go through, which is explaining we're not Puerto Rican. You know what I mean? Like there is another thing that we have to deal with, which is immigration, or being first generation Mexican, or American, or fucking dealing with the fact both my parents are back in Mexico. You know what I mean? Like I didn't get those benefits that come from your parents being American and teaching you even high school. You know what I mean? I had to, since elementary, teach my parents, and I've had to be a parent to both my mom and my brother, and be the protector, and have to deal with so many different things that, like, to a kid, like that is so much to deal with, but I don't do that on some woe is me type thing, because I really feel like that dead ass made me who I am. And like, if I wasn't as strong and as opinionated and as like boisterous as I am, and as all these things that you can paint me as, if I wasn't all those things, I wouldn't matter like I do to the culture. And I need to matter to the culture, because I do feel like I am a smart voice. You know what I mean? Like even beyond rap, I don't see myself rapping forever. I see myself being an important influence in our culture. And I think it's necessary to have the right voices say the right things, because you could definitely have a dumbass stand up and be like, I've got something to say. And then you give them that spot, and they're like, Mexicans. And then they say like some colorist shit or some racist shit towards black people, or they say some dumb shit. And then you're sitting there like, Jesus Christ, like we got our chance to say something and your stupid ass ruined it. Thanks, cousin Toto. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's so funny how many people don't realize that all these things influence, at the end of the day, the future. You know what I mean? Like we don't even have to make it about Mexican. We don't have to make it about hip hop. We don't have to make it about Latinos. We don't have to make it about American. We can make it about the world. And unless race relations get better, fucking, you know what I mean? Like a lot of this colorism, a lot of this sexism, a lot of this fucking, anti-everything shit gets fixed, we're really leaving our kids with a fucked up ass world. You know what I mean? And that's kind of where I'm at with everything. It's like, why don't y'all just be good human beings and stop with the fucking bullshit that like our grandparents and our parents had to deal with? Because I'm not my parents or my grandparents. You know what I mean? Like,
we're supposed to do better and want better and change things, right? For the generations that follow behind us. And I think it is like something that's super important that you have that knowledge and that wherewithal that to say like, yo, like I know I'm here for a reason. And living that life with the purpose is something that is so beautiful, so empowering that I really wish a lot of people found that no matter who you are or what you are, like to sit there and really figure out like, what is my purpose on this planet? You know, you're not just living to live. I know that sounds kind of weird, but
I live to live. Tell them.
like living with a purpose, like something, a goal behind what you're doing, you know, not just whining fame to get it and then do what with it, you know. And this is not to knock Takashi down, okay? But that was my biggest problem with him. It was never his music, it was never his image, it was none of that, because that's none of my business. My biggest problem with him was that he had gained this beautiful, huge following, an enormous platform where so many eyes were on him. And in a time where we had a son of a bitch of a president, I'm sorry to say that, like, but not sorry, where he was pinpointing just Mexicans, where he was saying that we were just drug dealers, criminals and gang members, XYZ, whatever it was, right? And you have somebody like Tekashi where he did have that platform where all eyes were on him and he was waving that Mexican flag, which is cool. But at the same time, I don't want you waving that flag, because like you said, like when you have that one person up there that's like, yeah, finally somebody made it, but it's like, I want the proper representation. I want somebody with the true voice. And that's not to knock him. I'm not trying to knock him. I was just crushed that he didn't have that knowledge or that desire to do more with that platform. And it's unfortunate what happened to him, because I wanted him to win. Like, I didn't want him to fall down, but I knew it from the get. I was like, yo, he's moving the wrong way, you know? And now we're in a beautiful place in hip hop where a lot of Latinos are rising. And like you said, where it wasn't popular before, it seems to be popular now. And for whatever flag you represent, I think it's absolutely beautiful. But what were some of those struggles for you, Snow? Because it has been a long road. What were some of those struggles for you being a Latina in this industry?
There was no proven cases. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we need to remember we're in a business. You know, so if there's no proven cases and there's no blueprint, then a label. I'm tired of people saying a label is a bank, because obviously a label is a bank, but it's also a business where, you know, they have to secure their investment. And if they're going to put their money into you, they need to know, where the fuck are you going? You're not black, so you're not going into urban. You're not, you know, but you do rap, but you're not white. So where do we put you? Oh, you must be pop music. Well, when you're not a pop artist yet, first of all, that's kind of racist to assume automatically you're a fucking pop artist, not a rapper, because it's like, I'm a rapper. I'm a very good rapper. So I wasn't allowed to be touched by urban. So I couldn't be working my record at an urban station. But at the same time, I wasn't necessarily a pop artist yet. So you get lost in this weird middle ground, right? So then when that's going on, then you go, okay, well, you're Hispanic, like Hispanics buy a lot of shit, so put on a sombrero and fucking, you know, just rap about fucking whatever, tacos or whatever. And it's like, when you know your culture and you love your culture, you know that shit is some clown shit. You know what I mean? So then what happens is, for example, I was at Atlantic and they're doing some clown shit with another artist and I'm not down with it, so I'm looking like a hater. Like, well, that artist is on the radio, why aren't you doing that shit? It's like, because that's clown shit and I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? So it's like, well, you're not supporting, you know, another Mexican artist, so that must mean y'all don't fuck with each other. And it's like, no, it just means that there's two different approaches. When you're black, you can have a Kendrick Lamar living in the same place that you know, in the same culture that you have a fucking young fucking thug or whatever the fuck, right? Right. You're having those people, but when you have a market so small like Mexican rap or Latino rap, they start looking at who's really gonna sell. Like, oh, we can only have one, and it's like, that's very important. Add on the fact that I'm a female, and that wasn't proven. Add on to the fact that I'm a fast rapper, and that at the time wasn't proven. And then add on to the fact that I'm a fucking gay person or LGBT, you know, probably. there's no fucking lane for me. You know what I mean? And that's what was very exciting. I mean, very difficult for me with them, but exciting for me as an independent artist because now nobody can tell me, oh, that's not gonna work, or oh, that's not gonna work. Now I'm like, bro, I'm finally seeing money. I'm finally being able to bet on myself. I'm finally being able to drop music whenever the fuck I want. And if I take an L, I'll take that L proudly because I'm a very accountable person. But they weren't trying to take L's with me. You know what I mean? And that's what the fuck is that sound?
What is that noise? Is it your your computer maybe? The pot
The computer.
Is it me? Or is it you? Is it done? I don't know what that was.
Because this computer doesn't even have a fan, so that wouldn't even make sense.
Oh, so then probably my fan is lit. It's so lit. It's probably the record labels listening right now, like
The Illuminati's like, take this bitch out. No, I'm just joking. No, but anyway, that's something that's hard to explain just on a business level. But as far as the optimistic way to look at it is the harder parts are behind us. You know what I mean? Like the harder times, even as a culture, like I do feel like now there is a little bit more of a proven record for a lot of people and people can invest in that. As a matter of fact, there's now more than ever labels going around being like, yo, being Latinos hot right now, who can we get? Yo, being Mexicans hot right now, who can we get? So everybody's kind of trying to get a piece of the market share, which is dope. But like I said, it's very important to make sure that people aren't just pushing shit because they have money in it. They have to do what's right for the culture because that's what's sustainable. And that's how you make an entire ecosystem of Mexicans putting on. You know what I mean? The problem right now is people could come up to me and be like, yo, Snow, I'm trying to sign you. And I'm like, oh, well, you know, the deal has to make sense. Then they offer me some dumb shit, right? And I go, well, that doesn't make sense because I'm making X amount of money. So what they do is go, I could just go sign some random Mexican girl and I can make all the money and I'll just put her on the radio. And it's like, well, see, that makes sense for you, but it doesn't make sense for the long run of the culture because you actually have to give a fuck, not just do it because of your money. If somebody has already done all the steps to be that voice and you're not trying to support that just because you don't got your hands in the fucking cookie jar, that's what's holding us back. That's literally what's been the same fucking thing. So lately what I've been doing is letting everybody know like, yo, bro, you bring me an opportunity, I'll break bread with you. That's the benefit of having no manager, no label. It's like, Ayydé, you got this plug, bet. Pull up, cut the pie. Let's do this shit like Mexican people. Let's do this shit like fucking raza. Let's stop trying to imitate the fucking business model that doesn't clearly want us. The business model that wasn't made for us, that told us we don't fit in. Let's fucking make our own fucking business model. You know, like fucking plug, I got you, little whatever, and then we lit. We do it better, faster, more beautifuler. Juju's about to make enchiladas to my left right now.
She's like, because I'm hungry and you only made one for yourself.
Right?
What about for me? That's so true. And you know what? When I was at the station, and you know, I've been rooting for you and supporting you from the jump, and I'd be like, yo, you have to put her on. You have to put her on. Yeah. And there was a moment where my PD was like, well, why isn't she under Urban? I was like, what do you mean she's not under Urban? Yes, she is. I didn't know you weren't. And so then I went to go look and I was like, what? Like, why don't they have her under Urban, you know? And like, that's the evolution of what you had to go through because like you said, there's better days ahead of us. And I can tell that you are in a happy place right now, being an independent artist. What are the major differences that you've noticed from being under a label to being an independent artist now?
With me particularly, and this is just advice, right, for like any artist out there, because at the same time I have taken my L's already, so like now there's a lot of more W's in front of me, so I wouldn't be irresponsible and tell people. I hate when people are like, you don't need a label, or you don't need anybody, you could do it yourself, because at the same time you don't know what that's like. If somebody's in their parents' basement and their parents are immigrants and they lose their job and you don't got shit, sometimes you do need that extra help, you know, and that's on you, like if you want to go that route, because if you do it correctly you can succeed in both lanes, you know. But for me, the freedom that comes with me being able to do whatever I want now is only because back then I was already taking my own L's. You know what I mean? Like I was already like financially, I put my money where my mouth was 12 years ago. You know, I would press my own shit. I would have my own artists. I've had a label. I've had my own what's it called, studio. I bought my own red cams. I bought all my own lights. I've had all screen printers, vinyl cutters, embroidery machines. I've already got the fucking touring vans. I got the trailers. I got my own LED walls, screens, fucking speakers. I have everything. So now I've set myself to be in a place where, I mean, what do I really have to lose other than upload a song, put some money behind it, and fucking treat it like a small business? You know what I mean? Like, that's it. But back then, it was a lot more difficult because, like you said, I wasn't on Urban. So let's say you, my friend, wants to help me out. You can't. They literally tied your hands. You couldn't even help me because when Atlantic's Urban department try to help me out, the pop music would be like, get your hands out of that. We're the ones in charge. But then they wouldn't do nothing for me. So then I was just sitting there like, yo, what the fuck? So with artists, all I could tell you is independent is only better than major if you're ready to bet on yourself. And major is better than independent if they're about to really not shelve you. But if they're about to shelve you, you're better off being independent, bro. Do your own shit. Upload your song to TuneCore, put that shit on the internet, and fucking gain fans one by one.
Man, and that's exactly what you've done. And you talked about all these different things that you've done to get where you're at while doing it, while you're moving along and growing and evolving. And you are a boss, you're an entrepreneur, and that's also something that I feel we don't grow up in. You know, we don't grow up in knowing that we can be our own bosses, that we can be owner of our own businesses, you know, have our own businesses, create something. Because I think as society, like you said, we see something, we're like, oh, the record label is the only way. Oh, the radio station is the only way. It's like, nah, like create your own table and break bread with everybody. Because when you win and your team that's helping you out, like you all win. Like if they win, you win. Everybody gets to win. And I think that that's what happens sometimes when it comes to these big corporations is that they are a business, but they're greedy businesses. Like they're more about the money than the people that are actually being represented. But you also said that you didn't want to be a rapper forever, and you've done so many different things. And I don't feel like you can be boxed in. Like, I don't know where you're going. I know you've done some acting. I want to know what is the next step? Like, what is your goal from, let's say, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, in a perfect situation where you could have whatever it is that you wanted to be accomplished? What is that looking like for you?
These onions are hella good, by the way. And I don't eat
I don't want onions any other way.
But what am I looking for? What am I gonna do? Would you say?
Yeah. What's the next step for you?
I would say, sometimes I don't even know. You know what I mean? That's a cool thing. Like, I value quality of life probably a lot more than a lot of people. You know what I mean? Not that's not to like be braggadocious or nothing, but it's just like since I was 15, I've kind of had like I got weird news from the doctor. You know what I mean? So like I always kind of like have had that present with like, yo, I'm not here forever. Like, so I've always kind of been more on like legacy or like from the grave this way type mentality where it's like I've never, once I can pay my bills, I've never really worried that much, you know, which actually has been a problem for me because come to find out recently, I've been doing a lot of like accounting and like business management type shit. And then you start looking at shit and you're like, yo, and they're literally looking at me like, you didn't look at your account. And I'm like, I didn't, like, I don't care. You know what I mean? And that's like, I just don't, that's the bad side of not caring about that is that a lot of people get to come through and just be like, you know, and you're like, what? But it's just because I value my life. I value who I live with. You know, I bought a ranch. I could have fucking bought anything. I could have got a condo and lived in a high rise and had that baller rapper lifestyle. But I wanted to live on 4 acres in LA so I could still get work done, but at the same time, still be with my family. Still, every day I want to see their faces. Every day I want to work with my brother and my cousin and my girlfriend. Like every day I want to wake up and be excited about what's next. Like what can we do today? Like today we can make a song and shoot a video and make a vlog and edit whatever the fuck we want. Like this is what I value. You know what I mean? And that's on everybody else. If your dream is to have a chain and be the most famous rapper, do that shit. I've been on a tour bus with the rapper lifestyle and been more depressed and suicidal than I have been when I was broke. So I know how strong my brain is and how bad of a place I can get to, that I'm like, you know what? I value hiring my own friends and living and working with them. You know what I mean? And that's just a personal choice of mine. My son's getting to an age now where it's like, yo, you want to work for me? Like, do this, this, and this. You got it. You can live however the fuck you want. And that's the type of inspiration that's the type of time I'm on. It's like, yo, I'm going to teach my son, like, literally, you could do whatever you want. You just have to work hard, and that's something that's everything. Like, I don't, I can't even understand how people don't value life over material shit. Some people
Yeah.
are out to just want to be famous, and it's like, damn.
That's they have no concept of what reality is. Speaking of your son, how do you balance being a mom and being an artist? Like, how do you juggle both of those things? Like, he's getting to an age now where he should be at what is he, 12, almost a teenager now?
He's 10, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Like, and he's so animated. I remember I told you, I was like, yo, he's definitely gonna be somewhere in the limelight. Like, how do you manage both of these things, still being Snow the product, but being a mom at the same time?
I think, and that's another thing, right? Snowy out here trendsetting. I was a mom before it was cool to be a mom in media. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like nowadays, if you have a kid, like, everybody got a kid. You can have a baby and continue your career. It don't matter. I had a newborn son, and I was broke as fuck, and I got signed to Atlantic, and I didn't even tell them that I had a baby, because I was like, yo, like, what does that mean? Will they not care about me? Will they think I'm falling off? Like, what should I do? So I was always having my private life very close to my chest, but at the same time, right there. My son was in music videos. He was just a baby in the music videos. He was on tour with me. Like, sometimes I would come home and I didn't even really make a profit, because the whole time I had to be paying for somebody to be there with me, a hotel room for my son to be at, like, day rooms or whatever the fuck I need to be doing. And it's like, I think the hardest part of parenting is a little bit behind me for now until he's a teenager. I think right now the benefit I have is at 10 years old, he understands, oh, mommy's working on this or on that or whatever. And I like him to see the hard work, because it's easy for him to see the likes and the subscribers and be like, ooh, that's cool. But I need him to see the nights I stay up, the editing, the fucking frustrated days where I don't even have enough time to do all these things. I need him to see all the hard work that goes into it, so that he can realistically evaluate if he even wants to be in this shit. Because I tell him, I'm like, baby, you can make more money doing other stuff. Like, you do not have to do what I do. I'm like, just know that, because he gets a different angle that a lot of people don't get. So I'm just, at the end of the day, bro, I'm just worried about raising a great man. You know what I mean? Like, that's it. Like, that's my life goal. Is my brother is practically my son. He's an amazing fucking human being. He literally, Ito's right there. I can't do anything without him. Like, that's my lifeline. And my son is my next born, and same thing. So all I can say is, bro, like, as a human being, I just want to make sure that I do right by the people around me. But other than that, I don't even know what I'm gonna do. I don't even care. I could wake up tomorrow and be like, bro, I'm gonna do this now, and we'll make it happen, because I'm a hard worker.
That's something that I really admire and I love about you, your strength and your determination to make something happen, whatever it is that you set out for. Like, if you say you're going to do something, like, I know that you're going to make it happen. You're going to find a way. And there is no doubt that you are raising a great human being, because he has such a great example in front of him, and it's important to share, like, to teach him those things and show, and talk about generational wealth, because we don't grow up without even know what that is, or having a savings account or having a business account, because we aren't taught that. So it's our responsibility, as you're doing now with your son and your brother's been a part of it too, growing up together, teaching these tools and these things. That's like, yo, we can be all of this. We can have all of this. Like, why can't we? Like, why for so long haven't we been able to have this? Are you working right now on an album? Like, what's going on? You've been dropping a lot of music videos, but where is this album at? Like, what is the process? Where are you at right now with it?
I think with this album that I have, I don't know. Like, that's one thing that I do constantly struggle with the concept of, because I have a team. I love what I do, but the way that I'm built with this stuff is built more for singles, and built more for music videos and stuff like that. Like when you try to go back to the big industry way of doing things, you do need some sort of partnership with somebody who knows how to do that, because I just don't work that way. Like, it doesn't make sense for me. I understand that a lot of a lot of fans want that, so like I want to make it happen for them. But as far as for me, dropping videos and dropping songs just makes more sense. You know what I mean? Because then like the flow between me and the fans and like it just keeps going. Whereas with a project, you kind of like turn it in and then you just sit there and you're like, oh my God, what's gonna happen? And then it happens, and then you just sit there and you're like, great, like that happened, and then you move on, and then you're like, what do we do now? And they're like, make more music, and you're like, what? Like, that was anticlimactic, you know what I mean? I love just kind of going, like having that relationship with my fans, constantly dropping vlogs, constantly dropping songs, constantly dropping music. That's what makes me happy. So I really do think when it comes to a project, I would have to partner with somebody and then kind of like be like, bet, and then me keep doing what makes me happy. Because as a human being, like I said, I just want to make sure that I stay happy, because I work very hard, literally out of the necessity, because I have very bad anxiety and I've suffered from depression my whole life, So I don't say I'm depressed. I just say I suffer from depression. I get in my little, depressive moods maybe once every few months, and then I get out of it. I breathe, I work out, I try to do my best, and then I keep it going. So I like to try to keep myself as happy as possible.
Hey, I think that makes sense. You have to find the right combination or whatever it is for you to make you happy, to keep you happy. That's really, really important over anything else, And if you found this formula that works for you with you and your fans, and you're going to keep at it. I still, of course, would love to see and hear an album, because I know without a doubt that you have it. But I guess really put something into my head right now is from an artist perspective of, sitting back, like once you put it out, like the unknown, I guess, of, is it going to be a hit? Are people going to like it, or they're just going to take one song and then say the rest of the project might be trash or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Like, there are different things that artists do go through that I feel like sometimes as regular people, we don't take into consideration, which should be taken into consideration. When was one of the first moments that you've made yourself truly proud of yourself?
Proud? I think every time I go on tour, you know what I mean? Like, except for one. There was one particular tour I was very fucking depressed. But ever since then, when I 100% booked the tour, just me and my agent Peter, and there was no label, no manager, no nothing. Like, everything from VIP to booking it, to talking to the promoters, to advertising it, to everything was literally like in-house, like with us. I was very proud of that, because that was something that for a long time I had management that would be like I do this, and I'm like, no, you don't. Like, I do that. Like, there's a reason I'm so close with Peter, because I talk to him all the time, And so when I did it, and I knew they were watching to see if I would fail, and I did better. Like, I exceeded every fucking aspect of touring. I was like, bet. Like, I knew at that moment I wasn't wrong. Like, and I think a lot of times people play to your insecurities in this industry, and they kind of like, well, what are you gonna do without me type shit? And it's like, when you take that step and you exceed all expectations, that beats any, like, what's the word, like awards or accolades or anything like that. Just proving to yourself, like, oh, bet, like, I know how to fish. Like, you weren't giving me fish. Like, I've been knowing how to fish. You just wasn't getting on my way. But bye.
What did you miss most during the pandemic as an artist? I know that you have a huge fan base, the woke fam that loves you, and I'm sure missed you on stage. But what was it for you that you missed the most? Alexa, stop. Sorry.
Alexa, wow. I think touring, really. Touring is, but I had announced, it's so crazy that the end of 2019, I announced I wasn't going to tour for 2020. So it's so weird. I'd be joking with my brother. I'm like, I made this whole thing happen, I'm like, I made the quarantine happen.
Dad, you out there.
I literally announced in 2019, I was like, I'm going to take a break from touring for a while. I've been doing it for so many years. Like, I need a break. Because I knew I wanted to like buy a ranch and I wanted to kind of like get settled in and restructure everything about my life and business. So it's been perfect. You know what I mean? Like, knock on wood, thank God, I was able to pivot perfectly because my fans are real fans and they like support and they love me as much as I love them. So I do miss touring, like from like the being able to talk to fans or like being in their face, their energy, you know, it's something different when you're on stage and you like feel them, you know, which is why I haven't done any live stream shows, because it's like the payoff for me is the energy. So if I don't see it, I'm like, you know, I don't care what I get paid. Like I want to feel that energy, and if I don't have it, then cool. Then I'll hold off until I'm there, and it'll make that moment that much better. You know what I mean? But I have played with the idea of possibly like I have these things called day one. Like I have this what's it called? This level on my YouTube where it's like day one. Those are the people that are like subscribed, they pay, you know, all this shit. I've been like the only people I might give a live stream show is to them because they've been so supportive through the pandemic. But I wouldn't charge for that. I'd literally just do it for them because they've already been supporting me. But other than that, I'm like I'm holding out until I get that rush of like fans and like energy. You know, it'll be great.
Yeah. Be really.
Shout out all the day ones. Shout out all of my day ones. And if you're not a day one, I mean, I love you too.
To really be able to have them and share that energy, like that's a true feeling. And I'm like anticipating to see if you ever have that live show for the day ones, what it would look like, because I've been to your shows and they are lit as fuck. They're so much fun. I probably twerked on stage once or twice. I don't know.
Yeah.
Took some shots.
I'm gonna invite you when I do it. We thought about the idea, right? Because I have all my own like touring stuff and cameras. So I'm like, we literally could set it up right here in the fucking rancho, have some fucking ATVs, do some crazy shit, me rapping at the. I mean, I'm sure my neighbors will be like, what the fuck is going on over there? Because we'll probably have fog machines and they'll probably think that the shit's on fire. But I think it could be really fun, you know?
I think you have to do it. Speaking of the rancho, which I'm so excited for you, I'm so proud of you for getting this beautiful piece of land that it's been so exciting to see you in the garden trying to save plants that Ito's trying to get rid of. And what are they called? I've never seen those.
Yeah, so what is popular apparently. I didn't know.
I never knew they were even a thing. But what has been the biggest learning lesson of being a property owner and of such a big piece of land? Like, what has been that process like for you?
Well, I mean, so the first time I ever owned a house, small flex, I was 22 and it was in Texas, right? So like it was pretty, like the property was pretty big. And so I, coming into the ranch, was like, I've had property when I was in Texas, I'm lit, like I got this. Fuck no, this shit is like, it's like my real estate agent literally was like, you know, this is gonna be a lot. I just want you to be prepared. Make sure you're getting into the right thing because this is gonna be a lot. And I was like, I got this. Don't fucking try me. I got this shit. Hell no. It's been so exhausting, and it's good though because every lesson you learn is like now you know it. You know what I mean? Like now I know about pipes. Now I know about sprinklers. Now I know about
composting. Huh? I see that compost.
The compost bin over here. Exactly. Now I'm learning about plants. I know how to propagate. Well, actually, I don't know how to propagate yet. I'm trying my best, but we'll see if they do anything. So all these things are just like amazing life lessons that I can learn with my family, and like it's just fun, man. I'm keeping busy during the quarantine. If nothing else, I'm keeping busy, and I just look forward to the future of all this shit. I really did this just to be able to have fun. I'm installing a half basketball court. So I just want to be. I'm such an introvert that I bought a big enough piece of land where I could be introverted and still feel like I'm outside. So
no, I feel you on that. My boyfriend is like that. He has a beautiful piece of land too, and I think through him and being at his house all the time, like I've learned a lot because he's all about the land and being with the plants and composting and all of that. And it does take a lot of work. Like you don't really see it, you know, from cleaning the pool to watering the yard every day or making sure that this or that is okay. And it becomes this whole other responsibility. But like you said, it's your own piece of paradise. It becomes your own piece of paradise. And these are the things that are important. This is what we work for, you know, to have these things that it's truly an accomplishment. I don't want to keep you too much longer, but I do have a few last questions. One was, if you could give a piece of advice to a younger Claudia, what would you say to yourself?
I would say everyone's right. Stop trusting everyone. You know what I mean? Like, which is such a hard piece of thing to like unpack, right? Like, I've always had people around me tell me like, stop being so open to everybody and like trusting so many people. So it's hard to tell yourself to trust the people around you when they're telling you to stop trusting the people around you. You know what I mean? So that's been very important to me. I have always been very open and like available, and maybe some of that comes from low self-esteem of like, you know, why would people fuck with me unless I give them the most, you know, or like I have to do the most for anybody to even value me, you know, and it's like I had to realize that's my own self-esteem shit. I should have fucking gone to counseling for that and fucking realized I could do better. Is this shit
It's freezing.
glitching?
Can you hear me? No. Hello. Oh no, did we lose you? Let's see. Is she still frozen? Oh no. Snow. I think somebody said hashtag cancer problems. I know because I'm a Cancer. Hashtag Pisces problems because I'm a Pisces and we're about the same. There we go. Are you back? Can you hear me?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
We went through a small little buffer, but I got you. I don't know what happened. Somebody said Ito will fix it. Somebody else said the music industry is tapping in. Now people are happy you're back. I want to know just a little bit of we got cut off, so I couldn't even hear any more of. I said we got cut off, so I couldn't finish hearing what you were saying about advice to your younger self. But what were some of your early like influences when it comes to the music industry? You know, you said, you know, the mariachi or even singing wasn't for you, but at what point did you turn your ears and heart to rap, and who were some of those early influences for you?
Well, obviously, Big Pun was a huge one. I got lucky that my friend happened to just have a bunch of CDs, and she like handed me some really great choices. You know what I mean? Like I always think about that. I'm like, if she had handed me any other CDs, I wonder what it would have been, you know? But literally like to get Lauryn Hill and Big Pun and you know, Outkast and like Lil Kim and Biggie and Pac, you know, like these are things that it's like, bruh, like how lucky could I have been to get some top tier artists, you know, and like well-rounded. Like that's the place where you have to be like, yo, life is crazy, you know, like that was meant for me to hear, you know, because she could have handed me some fucking dumbass shit, you know. But yeah, I think they influenced me too. I had a lot of feelings inside of me, and I was very shy. I grew up I'm very shy actually, personally. The Snow the product persona can be very loud or whatever, but personally I'm shy, and I didn't know how else to get those feelings out other than possibly writing music, you know. So that's how I started. I started to just kind of rap. I got some instrumentals and I started saying some things, and people were like, yo, you're good, like you're actually on time, your voice sounds good, like you got that shit, you know. And that's how it started. That's it. I wanted to express myself. I have the good old school boom bap story where it's just like, yo, lyrical miracle, I want to fucking express myself. I come from, you know, a bad place, and I'm gonna come up. That's pretty much it. That's how easy it is.
That's an important story to tell, and I hope that you keep being you, because that's why so many people love you and appreciate you, and you are really necessary. I don't know if you give yourself enough credit. And I hope you sit down sometime and give yourself the flowers that you deserve, because when it comes to artists, something, especially when it comes to hip hop, for me, artists that have changed my life or helped me out are someone like Tupac that you're wearing on your shirt. Not because he just was Tupac or whatever, it's because of the storytelling. Because in the long run, when I was going through something, I could throw on Pac to get me through, to help me see those better days, a brighter tomorrow, whatever it was, those words of encouragement. And yeah, he had radio hits. Yeah, he was talking about hoes and bitches too at the same time, and being a thug life, whatever it is, all that. It was a balance. But at the end of the day, there was a lot of songs that helped me out through hard times. And I think that's what you're doing for a lot of people. You're opening up those doors and letting them know, like, look, I'm here, you're here, we are all here, and letting them know that you see them and you're one of us. And it feels amazing. I love you so much. I respect you, and I can't wait to continue seeing you blossom and grow, because I just know nothing but great things are going to happen for you, and you deserve it. You deserve the entire world, and I can't wait. I can't wait to continue seeing you take over shit and accomplish all of your dreams. And I just wanted to say congratulations. I love seeing you glow and you shine, and I really appreciate you for taking this time with me today. And I can't wait to go visit the ranch because it looks amazing.
I was just going to say that before we get off. Like, I need to let you know that what the fuck? Because you were supposed to be one of the first people to come to the ranch and fucking visit us. And you have gotten beaten by a lot of people. So what the fuck, Ayydé?
I'm going to make a trip, but coronavirus.
We got to get tested. We all got to get tested. We got to get ready for the Ayydé visit. But no, I wanted to tell you too, like, congratulations on your venture, on you doing all this shit by your own terms. I'm very proud of you. I know that you deserve it, and I've always given you your flowers, and even in, especially in rooms that you're not in, because I think in this industry, a lot of people forget that that's when it matters. You know what I mean? Like, it's easy to be on Clubhouse, and like when someone walks in, you're like, oh, give them their flowers. But it's a different thing to actually give people flowers when they're not in the room. And you're one of the people that I speak very highly about. You're great at this shit. You're great at interviewing. Obviously, you almost made me fucking cry. You actually kind of did. So congratulations. I love you too. And fucking come through to the ranch, man.
Hey, I can't wait to do it. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day, and tell everybody I said hi, okay?
All right. As you kick me off, I'm going to keep chugging. All right. Bye.
Keep chugging, and make sure that Juju knows you're the new chef in the house. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching another episode of Cooking It with Ayydé. That was Snow, the product. She now knows how to make lazy enchiladas. They are absolutely delicious. And look, my secret, it's out the can. I wouldn't say bag, but you see what I did there? Es salsa de pato. And also, I didn't say this part, but normally you would boil the chicken and then deshebrarlo. This one I just get like rotisserie chicken, un pollo que ya está asado de la marqueta, and lo deshebras, and it's the easiest way. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Make sure that you subscribe, turn on those notifications, because we're going to come back with more episodes. Y'all have a blessed day. Take care.